Create animated gradient background like IMAN GADZHI in Premiere Pro. Click on the new item at the bottom of the project panel and select Color Matte. Create a color matte with all default settings, drag it into the timeline, and adjust its duration. Now in the Effects panel search for 4-color gradient, and drag it into the color matte. Select the color matte, then choose each color, and choose a lighter color instead. Now set scale to 210, move the playhead to the start, and click on the stopwatch next to rotation to create a starting keyframe. Move the playhead around 10 seconds forward and set rotation to 3x, which means 3 times rotate around itself. Animate flags like IMAN GADZHI in Premiere Pro. Here I added a background and an image of a flag to my timeline. In the Effects panel search for Drop Shadow and drag it into the image. Select the image and set opacity to 100, direction to 180, distance to 10, and softness to 100. Now search for Wave Warp and drag it into the image as well. Set wave height to 20 and wave width to 200. If you want more speed, increase wave speed. Create strikethrough text animation like IMAN GADZHI in Premiere Pro. With the pen tool, click on the left side of the text, then hold down the Shift key and click on the right side of the text to create a straight line. In the Essential Graphics panel, uncheck the Fill Color, check the Stroke checkbox, and set its color to red and size to 5 pixels. Now in the Effects panel search for Turbulent Displace and drag it into the line. Set amount to around 7 and size to around 57. Search for Crop and drag it into the line. Move the playhead to the start. Click on Stopwatch next to Crop Right, and drag its value until the line is not visible to create the first keyframe. Hold down the Shift key and press the right arrow key 4 times to go forward 20 frames, and increase Crop Right until the line is completely visible. To smoothen the animation, select both keyframes, right-click on one of them, and add ease in and ease out to them. To change the duration of the animation, change the distance between keyframes. Show phone screen in nice background like IMAN GADZHI in Premiere Pro. Click on the new item at the bottom of project panel, and create a new color matte with the default settings. Drag the color matte into the timeline, and adjust its duration. In the Effects panel search for 4-color gradient, and drag it into the color matte. Select the color matte, and in the Effect Controls panel select each color, and use a lighter color instead or any color you want. I downloaded this phone image from the internet, and I drag it into the second track. It's not necessary for the phone to be green screen. You can download such images from Pexels or Pixabay websites for free. I also recorded my phone screen and drag it into the third track and remove its extra parts. Select your phone video and adjust the scale property. To round the edges of the video, search for Roughen Edges and drag it into the phone video. Set edge type to cut, border to 150, edge sharpness to 10, and fractal influence to 0. Now adjust the scale. Uncheck the uniform scale, and change the scale height and width until the phone video fits the phone image. To be more precise, you can search for corner pin, drag it into the video, and pin the corners of the video to the edges of the image, but for me it's okay. Create a progress bar like IMAN GADZHI in Premiere Pro. With the pen tool, click in the preview, then hold down the Shift key and click to create a straight line. Now in the Essential Graphics panel, uncheck the Fill option, set Stroke to 5, and choose a gray color for it. Also, click on this button to center it horizontally. Now with the Selection tool, hold down the Alt key and drag the line to the above track to duplicate it. Select the line and in the Essential Graphics panel select the shape and choose a white color for the stroke. In the Effects panel search for Crop and drag it into the duplicate line. Select it, and in the Effect Controls move the playhead to the start. Click on the stopwatch next to Crop Right and drag it until you can't see any of the white line. Hold down the Shift key and press the right arrow key 4 times to go forward 20 frames, and drag Crop Right until you fill some of the progress bar. Select both keyframes, right-click on one of them, and add ease in and ease out to them. Create circle animation like IMAN GADZHI in Premiere Pro. Click and hold over the rectangle tool and select the ellipse tool. Click in the preview, then hold down the Shift key and drag to create a proportional ellipse. In the Essential Graphics panel, uncheck the fill color and check the stroke color. Set it to 20 pixels and choose a color you like. Now in the Effects panel, search for Radial Wipe and drag it into the ellipse. Select it, move the playhead to the start, and click on Stopwatch next to Transition Completion and Start Angle to create 2 starting keyframes. Set Wipe to counterclockwise, and set Transition Completion to 100. Hold down the Shift key and press the right arrow key 6 times to go forward 30 frames. Set Transition Completion to 0 and Start Angle to 180 to create the second keyframes. Also, set Feather to 50. To smoothen the animation, select all the keyframes, right-click on one of them, and add ease in and ease out to them. You can add more curves by expanding the transition completion and dragging the handles. Now the first animation is done, and it's time to create the second fill circle animation. With the selection tool, hold down the Alt key and drag the ellipse to the above track to duplicate it. Select the duplicate track, remove the radial wipe, uncheck the stroke, and check the fill color checkbox. Click on the fill color and with the eyedropper tool select the same color you used for the stroke. Now expand the shape, click on the ellipse mask, and adjust the size of the mask to be the same as the circle. Move the playhead to the start, set mask feather to 0, and uncheck the inverted checkbox. Click on the stopwatch next to mask expansion to create a starting keyframe. Move forward 10 frames and decrease expansion until the circle fills completely. Select both keyframes and add ease in and ease out to them. And if you want more curves, expand the mask expansion and drag the handles. At last, select both layers, right-click on one of them, and click Nest. Double-click on it in the preview window and adjust its size and position. Create center reveal line effect like IMAN GADZHI in Premiere Pro. Move the playhead to the position you want the effect to start happening. With the pen tool, click in the preview, then hold down the Shift key and click again to create a straight line. Now in the Essential Graphics panel, uncheck the fill color and check the stroke color. Set stroke color to linear gradient, click on the first handle, and choose the starting color. Click on the second handle, choose the ending color, set angle to 0, and click OK. Set stroke width to 6 pixels. Now to round the corners of the line like what we saw in Iman's video. In the Effects panel, search for Roughen Edges and drag it into the line. Set Edge Sharpness to 10, Fractal Influence to 0, and Border to 15. Search for Drop Shadow and drag it into the line. Set Opacity to 100, Direction to 180, Distance to 10, and Softness to 40. Search for Crop and drag it into the line as well. First, make sure the line is centered in the frame by clicking on these 2 buttons in the Essential Graphics panel. Now move the playhead to the start. Click on Crop left and right, and set them to 50%. Hold down the Shift key and press the right arrow key 6 times to move playhead forward 30 frames, and change crop left and right until the line is completely visible. To smoothen the animation, select all the keyframes, right-click on one of them, and add ease in and ease out to them. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I hope you found this useful.